Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're playing the Samaritan Paradox. Now, this is one of the games that I've gotten free since I started my YouTube channel, so I therefore don't really have an investment with it, so I'm going through all these games, giving them 30 minutes and seeing if I really want to play them. Now, I got these games free, not because I'm a video game critic or anything like that. Nobody contacted me, but sometimes games are free on Steam, or somebody tweets out a public giveaway of a key, or the Humble Store gives you a game for free. And I've gone through a lot of them so far, and I don't think I've run across more than one that I've actually wanted to play. However, this one actually has some good reasons why this might be finally one worth playing. It is published by Screen 7, which is the same company that published The Cat Lady, which is a very disturbing horror game that's a point-and-click adventure. Actually, it's not a point-and-click adventure, it's just a adventure with a keyboard that doesn't even use the mouse. However, on the downside, this is using their same engine, which is the AGS system, Adventure Game Studio software, which is a little too old. It has a tendency to not support high resolutions. I've had to use the high quality 3x filter to even make it look this good. The audio sounds fine, but AGS doesn't use a lot of memory on computers that have tons of RAM. Not that it really probably even needs them, but it's just a very old system for making point-and-click adventures, and I think you probably could make a better one in Unity or Unreal, but you probably have to spend a lot more time educating yourself how to use those engines and developing some stuff from scratch. This is only 2014 game, so only a few years old, where most of the games that I've gotten for free were obviously free because they were from 1999, 1994, really long time ago, which obviously that makes sense why you might give away an old game, particularly if you're a company that has some newer versions of games that you're trying to still actually make a buck on. This one has achievements and trading cards, everything integrated into Steam. So if I can just look past the graphics, I think I can play this point-and-click adventure game. Being a modern one, it probably is going to be pretty good. That's way too long for a setup. Let's begin.
Gothenburg, 1984. My name is Ord Salomon. I find codes, and then I crack them. It's what I do.
And in just a week, Sweden will send mediators to the region to help negotiate a peace treaty. Critics have called into question Sweden's suitability as mediators, given our role as global exporters of weapons.
What? This is an interesting Sweden that exports weapons. So a phone is ringing. Let's go ahead and answer it.
Hello?
Hello, Ord, it's Magnus.
Oh, hi.
Did I catch you staring dreamily out of the window, searching the perpetual overcast for cracks?
Well, that's where the light gets in.
So, had any time to look at the book I gave to you?
Oh, not quite yet.
Don't you think it could help you take your thoughts off the ciphers and codes for a moment?
Sure.
It's by Jonatan Bergwall. You told me you like him.
I liked him as a journalist, but as a writer of detective stories, yeah, okay, I'll give it a try.
Okay, just wanted to check on you, mate.
Thanks, man.
Everything's alright? Eating and sleeping and so on?
Yes, I am, don't worry.
Lunch Friday?
Sure thing, Magnus. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Click. Both the clicking of the phone and clicking. So, not a lot of settings here, just audio, music and effects. You don't even have an independent one for voice acting. And you can switch the font to an anti-alias font or a non-anti-alias font. Honestly, let's just leave it at the default. Who knows what screen on YouTube you might end up listening to. So it's a fully voiced 2D point-and-click adventure game. That's something I can handle. There's a lot of IKEA furniture. I believe this is set in Sweden. I don't need to do anything with the IKEA furniture. And the code book, ciphers and codes, cryptology, basic chemistry. And then you click back. So, left click is to do things, and right click is to look at them. So we pick it up. We've got the music being fully voiced with decent music. This gives us the ability to actually handle a game like this. Now, there is only text when you are talking to somebody else, so there's still a lot of reading in a game like this. Let's see. Famous journalist Jonatan Bergwall committed suicide August of this year. That's the guy that you're supposed to read his book. His daughter Sara Bergwall, currently residing in Stockholm, where she works as a chemist. Released ominously titled earlier this year. Wow. The Last Secret, despite being an ordinary, seemingly non-autobiographical detective story, it's seen as some foreboding of its author's fate. Selection of works: Utopia Unvisited, The Guest, Silent Rooms, A Letter to Attila, A Fall. Funny, Bergwall's daughter is a chemist. Apparently she wouldn't walk in her father's footsteps. And just everything in this room is labeled IKEA furniture. Which, that's pretty Swedish. Here's the new book we're supposed to read. And being a code breaker, maybe I'll find the code in this book. Magnus gave it to me yesterday, a novel by Jonatan Bergwall. Magnus is really considerate, but lacks good taste in literature. He wants me to read something non-cipher related, but he's picked a rather banal detective story. So, to get to our inventory, we come down here. Let's take a look. My last novel. The author. To my daughter Sarah. It's a strangely positioned ISBN tag. So we see this and we see a note. From my weekend shift sorting books at the library, I can tell this ISBN number looks strange. A code, perhaps. Well, geez, are they gonna make me decode this? Because if they do, that's going to take a lot more work. There's something about the ISBN code. I should find out what it is before I look at the rest of the book. Alright. So, to the furniture. So, chemistry, and now the number code. Drag and move the notebook by its top for a better view. Okay. So none of the numbers are higher than 75, so we only need these here. So 68 is where? It's down here. That's not the correct element. No, I have to start with 90. It wrapped around. 90 and then 68 and then 99. This is quite difficult. 8, 10, 42. Usually the point and click adventure game, there's more to it than that. I wonder what it's supposed to imply. I should call Magnus and ask for advice. Yeah, usually in a point and click adventure game you don't have to solve puzzles that complicated, and usually it's object based puzzles, not a cipher-based puzzle. And they come out on the store page and tell you there are 60 areas, and we've spent 15 minutes already in one area, which puts you at potentially a 30-hour point-and-click game.
Magnus speaking.
Hey, it's me again.
Hey, mate.
You know the Bergwall book you gave me? The Last Secret?
Yeah, you started reading it?
I found a secret code right at the beginning. It seems to be addressed to Sara Bergwall, his daughter.
Jesus, you find codes everywhere, don't you?
I've already cracked this one. I believe it means there's one more.
One more of what?
I have no idea.
I see. You know what you should absolutely do?
No. But I'm sure you're about to tell me.
You should contact Jonatan Bergwall's daughter and let her know that you've deciphered his message to her.
No, I couldn't possibly do that. Besides, she probably already solved it.
Then you could at least ask her what it means. This could give you a lot of inspiration for your essay. Come on, are you gonna rot away in that shadowy den all your life? Your life needs a new direction, mate.
Yeah, I know. You keep telling me.
Excitement! Go outside, meet new people, get some brand new impressions.
You sound exactly like my psychologist, you know that?
You don't have one, you're far too stubborn.
More like too broke.
Now you look her up and give her a call. If you don't do it, I'll do it for you and arrange a meeting.
Okay. I'll do it.
Great.
Odd that
Yeah,
that your friend is pushing you to play the game. And it took us 15 minutes to get to the late intro, which is kind of long for a point-and-click adventure or any game.
Here's your
really.
coffee. Anything else?
Not for me.
I'm good, thanks.
One refill is included in the price.
Fine, thank you. So, thanks for meeting me.
I have a feeling I should be thanking you. So, you found a hidden message in the beginning of the Last Secret.
Yes.
And it means there's one more?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
That's quite amazing. Did you say you're some kind of cryptologist?
Yeah, among other things.
All right.
Do you know what the message refers to?
Yes, it confirms my suspicions. It means there's one more book, contrary to the popular belief that the Last Secret is the last thing he wrote. And it is Father's wish that I search for it and find it and read it. I believe it's the key to my inheritance.
Really? What's in the book?
I don't know for sure, but I'm afraid I can't do it. I won't read it. It's a long story, really. This is a way for Father to impose his will after his death. As my punishment for not being interested in his career and his writing and his journalistic endeavors. He never gave me a dime when I grew up. He believed gifts corrupt, one of his many ideas about raising kids. There should be millions of chronos somewhere, hidden. I think the book will tell you how to find it. That's his plan, to force me through his book in order to get my inheritance. But I refuse to play along. I just won't do it.
Oh, so you won't try to find it then? Out of spite?
To be honest, Ord, I'm a bit afraid too.
Afraid of the book?
Yeah, of what I might find in it.
That's a shame. I would really like to read it. I would love to use this stuff in my PhD thesis. It's a great story.
You know what? If you want to, you could help me. You could search for the book and read it, so I won't have to deal with it. If you succeed, we'll split the money.
Really?
Interesting.
That's a very generous proposal, but I don't know if...
Then it's a deal. Meet me in the Bergwall estate tomorrow.
Rather contrived reasons to get you into this action. It's a little unbelievable.
So, here we are.
It seems like they planned probably not to voice act this game originally, and then they got a little bit more of a budget.
Anyway, when I was a child, Father used to arrange treasure hunts.
And used it to do the voice acting.
House, each leading to another one, and in the end, there'd be candy or a present for me. I suspect he's arranged something similar now.
Doesn't that contradict the gifts?
I'll give it to you.
And you think the book is hidden here in the house?
I guess maybe if he makes him work
idea.
for it, he doesn't consider the gift.
He has a cabin on Fardo, out in the archipelago where he used to write. It could be there. In fact, it could be anywhere. I'll give you the key to the cabin.
So we've got a couple different
thanks.
places
I'm
to look.
staying at a friend's place today. I have to sort out some legal stuff surrounding Father's death. If you have any questions about anything, I left the number by the phone. By the way, I've been telling people you're my boyfriend. That way you can move around here more freely.
Really?
I'd rather you didn't tell people about the book, or ask around about it. You're here to help me sort out the practicalities.
Oh. Well, I'll act supportive.
Let's find Jonatan Bergwall's last night. Well, if there is even such a thing. So far, this is actually an intriguing challenge. It's not just discover who the murderer is. It's not something so simple. It's find a book that you know you're going to have puzzles in. I was a little confused about Ord. He seemed like if he was into cryptology, he should be a mathematics professor or something. But it's... but he seemed to also be a shut-in. So I was trying to balance how you could be have an actual job in cryptology, which most of that's computer work anyways, and yet not ever leave your house or actually have a job. I suppose if he's working on his PhD thesis, then we can just consider him younger than I thought he was, and so eventually he would have some kind of professorship. So I'm looking down here to see if there's maybe something. Let's see. Dear daughter, I hope that you're well in Stockholm. You're not forgetting your family here in Gothenburg. Why split this? Right? Remember the game we played when you were little? Wouldn't it be fun to play it again? Just for old memory's sake, another split. Your father? Doesn't seem like there's anything there. And then here's a photo of him standing in front of the fire with a statue. This horse figurine is facing the other direction. Delicate ivory statue. And this is wrong. Like, it's not matching the picture. This wooden horse is facing the fire. And so my inclination is to move it. It's turned the other way in Jonathan's photo. Maybe a way to draw attention. So I had to look at it before I could interact with it. It's a wooden horse. Let's burn it. Because pyromania is always a good thing. Horse figure on So I guess we're gonna have to do some more research. It's empty except for a book. Let's look at the notice board. Notes are pretty old for recent newspaper clippings. And so, unless we find the puzzle, then we can't solve it. I'll take an LP. Records with sound effects. So you can definitely tell they have a lack of animation ability. Maybe we put the horse on the pedestal over here. The horse's hooves fit right into 4 holes drilled into the surface. And let's grab the letter opener. And you can't do a lot of things without reason, which is not something I particularly enjoy in point-and-click adventure games. I would much prefer to grab things and have the things in my inventory for when I need them. So let's look at the television program, which is different than the television set. Workout program. And then we have Veronica and we have Sinye.
Hello there.
Hi.
So we can ask some questions, but I bet they're not going to give us much information.
You must be Veronica.
That's me, and you must be Ord, Sarah's boyfriend.
Indeed, nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to finally meet you. Well, it's great that Sarah has someone to support her through this. I don't see her all that often these days, but I really like her.
Seems like she's
Smart
been
and
lying
strong-willed.
about having a boyfriend
You'd
for
better hold on
a
to
lot
her.
longer.
Yes, I had. Hadn't I?
It's funny. I reckoned her boyfriend would be more of a
Yes?
jock, I guess. A go-getter kind of person. You're pleasantly laid back.
Thanks, I guess.
So you spend a lot of time here.
So, you spend a lot of time here?
You could say that. Especially after Jonatan died. But even before that, I mean, I was nursing him a whole lot too, frankly.
Oh, he was needy?
Hasn't Sarah told you about her father yet? Well, she will. He was getting more absent-minded by the day, like an old professor. I didn't mind taking care of him, too. They pay me well and treat me like family.
So she was the nurse. I don't know why she's got the old lady over there in the corner instead of just watching TV with her next to her. That seems kind of rude. Let me ask about the horse figurine. So we can ask all of these questions.
I don't know anything special about it. I do recognize it, but I've never thought about it.
So there's a lot of conversations here. This is kind of not even a point-and-click adventure at this point. It's more of a different type of adventure.
Excuse me, Signy?
So I think I need to find something out about Signy.
Hello there.
Hi! Sarah's mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a couple years ago. It's sad.
What did she do before she got ill?
When she was really young, she worked in the military. She was based on Fardo, before they shut down all the military facilities there. Exactly what she did, I'm not sure of.
Okay, let me ask about Jonatan Bergwall too, and then while we're at it, we'll ask about Veronica and Sara.
He was kind to me, but there wasn't much we could talk about. You know, he was very into politics and literature and everything. He was very passionate about stuff. If something on the news got him upset, he'd talk about it all day. Then he'd go to his chamber and write about it. He always expected you to have strong opinions about stuff, and to be interested in stuff, you know?
So you can't ask Veronica about Veronica?
Oh, I don't know her that well. She's been here more often lately, after Jonatan passed away. She must be very busy in Stockholm. I bet she works all the time.
Yeah, she does.
See you soon, Ord.
So I don't think we need to... Military uniform. So there's your hint. That we need to go get a military music playing. For what reason, I don't know. And we've got this mini fan and a paper knife. I guess I could use the record with military signals. But clearly I'm not supposed to make a code or system that allows me to communicate through military record sounds. So off to the library. Now arguably 60 scenes could be used up really quickly if this entire house takes like 30 of them, which is a possibility. Sustainable charity, a political quandary. Sub Rosa. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that there's another child. We're just grabbing things. A lot of books. This is quite the library for a house. Book of Art History. Mythological beasts. One of his own books, Fall of Fulcrum. Seems boring. So we'll probably come back to the library when we know what we're looking for. And we looked at these pictures and there's a closet and a box. Let's see what's in the closet. I'm already wearing my jacket, so you can't do anything there. Mostly old photo albums here. Lots of pictures of Jonathan holding Sara as a child. Text. It has text to throw on it. Sarah's probably preparing to clear the house. And so we can leave, or we can go to the cellar door. I currently have no business in the basement, so... And we could travel from this point to my house. So you've got this overworld map, and then to Fardo, which would take me here. So 3 different locations already. There is a major flaw in this game, in that it is just 8-bit graphics, and while I do personally have nostalgia for 8-bit graphics, I can certainly understand why certain people wouldn't want to play a game like this, even in 2014 when this came out, because it is just ugly, and you ingest a game with your eyes before you interact with it or hear anything. So it gives off a poor first impression. I will admit that. That being said, with its rough interface and its low graphics, and it's a much more intriguing story than most of the games I've played up to this point. And let's see, can we save? No. I guess this is save. And so, for really just the second time, I have found something I really want to play. And because of that, I am actually going to continue playing this. So, the way it was going to work for November was either I was going to play enough games for 30 minutes to fill in 1 hour of content and then not do anything more, or I was going to find things I actually do want to play. I really do want to play this, so I'm going to continue this. I'm going to play it all the way to the end. This is the first game I've gotten for free that has kept my attention long enough to really work out and make sense. Everything before this was either really bad. There was one game that I might want to get back to later, but I still wasn't really motivated. But they've really got me with the point-and-click adventures and the Samaritan Paradox. They've intrigued me. So that's going to be it for this recording, and in this time slot, going forward until this game is done, we're just going to be playing this, and all the other games will be airing at a different time slot. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.